All right, everyone, welcome back from the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Friday, June 24th, 2022. If you like the content, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, etc. Or come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. Anyways, here, so big rally day on our hands. And some of the concerns that I was suggesting earlier this week, I think we've alleviated a lot of them. So semiconductors up 3.5% today, although a little bit off the highs. Want to see them kind of participate in this last little leg up if we get one here. Nice consolidation pattern here on the Russell, Spiders, and triple Qs in the Dow. So I want to see the semiconductors really catch up here. They started doing that, but they're still a little off the highs, which is a bit of a concern here for the overall strength of this rally should it continue next week, which I believe we do. I talked about a couple weeks ago. I said there's a really good chance we bottom this week, and it looks like, I feel pretty comfortable saying we have done that. The other concern that I obviously voiced was with volatility, and we got through that 30 handle earlier this week, and I said really the bigger level is 29. And we can see here, pulling back to the daily, this was really the bigger level here, getting below these pivots, and we've done that today. So now sort of those hedges coming off. And another thing you're seeing is, we talked about yesterday, like all the short covering and names like Carvana, up big yesterday, up again today, another 8%. Shopify, you get the idea. Roku, Unity, Biotech, XBI here. Up again today. So look at that move off the low. Now, what's interesting is we're seeing evidence that we could be having a summer rally here. And like I've been saying, summer rally, we're not talking about, new all-time highs. We're talking about a good relief rally. And the evidence for that is here. So take a look at XBI, what it's done the last week. And this has been dropped off of a cliff here, right? And now we look at the XLE. So we're seeing money come out of energy and go into tech, go into some of these beaten up names here. And that is evidence that there is sector rotation going on, which is what you want to see if we're going to have some type of a turning point here in the markets. And essentially that looks like the case here. So look at the spiders coming nicely off the lows. Again, I would have preferred, I would have felt better about it earlier in the week if we had gapped down on Monday and then kind of rallied up, or at least opened flat and then tested some downside prices. But again, I also mentioned over the weekend, a lot of people, the scenario that everybody was really looking at this 200-week moving average. And a lot of the time when you have a level like that, especially when it coincides with a gap fill, a weekly gap fill, you get kind of a rug pull a little bit beforehand. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing now. So a nice little reversal there for the spiders. Should go up there and fill that gap again, either later today or sometime Monday, Tuesday next week. And then as we get closer to the holiday, I expect the market really to go into float mode. And again, most institutional traders will probably leave by Wednesday afternoon, and we'll get that kind of light volume holiday effect, which generally bodes to the upside for the market. So nice little rally here. VIX down, semis are participating. So we're seeing some nice things here. And again, the advanced decline is good today. Most NASDAQ and S&P issuance are higher. So seeing good broad-based rally, and even energy getting a little bit of a bid. Financials also coming off the lows as well. So we're seeing everything we need to put in a summer pivot. And again, like I've said, I expect this to last, maybe into the next month or two. So I don't expect it to last much longer than August. And that doesn't mean we go up in a straight line. We will probably get a good rip your face off rally, and then maybe a pullback, and then possibly another leg up. That's kind of what I have penciled in. It doesn't mean that does happen. We were looking for kind of this to be an ABC up here, and we didn't quite get that. We had a failure, so you got to be careful. This is still a downtrend. You're still in a daily downtrend here. So this market, as it's not out of the woods by a long shot, but especially seeing volatility come down does kind of give me that inkling that we will see that summer rally. I'd really like it to get below this pivot here at some point, and maybe test that 22 handle, this long-term trend line. That would be a good buying opportunity in my book for volatility. I think you'd flush out, and that's really the what I've been kind of waiting for here, right? Is we need to flush out these bears. The downside trade has just been too easy. Just sell every little rip, and it's really come, it's really borne fruit for a while, and I think it's, we've gotten to the point where there's just too many bears, and they just need to be stopped out. It's just the ebb and flow of the market, just how things work. But in any case, nice little pop here for the spiders. So triple Qs here as well, up 2.7%, stalling out at that daily 20 moving average. Maybe it needs to consolidate for a day or so to get through that. But overall, nice little gain there. Russell 2000, let's take a look at this. So we got back above this key area. You guys have been watching or following me for a while. I've been talking about this monthly trend line, and I said there's still a good chance. Last week we were down here. I said there's still a good chance they defend it. We still got 2 weeks left in the trading month, and it looks like we're getting a nice pop above that. We're basically on that 50-month moving average right now, and then you see the weekly. We are closing back above all three of these trend lines after that attempted breakdown last week. So a nice little reversal, and these attempted breakdowns, these essentially this is a bear trap, right? You went down here, you filled the gap, you closed below these levels, and it traps a lot of those shorts and the lows, and that's how you get those rip your face off moves. So the Russell may have some upside here over the next couple of weeks. We'll have to watch that. Obviously, when you have the Russell and the NASDAQ leading the market, which they are, that is a good sign here for more bullish activity. But a nice move there for the Russell. Basically stuck at this high pivot right here, but I think in time it will at least go up and fill this gap, and maybe this one as well. But in any case, nice little move here, pretty much across the board. So semis, touched on those a minute ago, up 3.5. It is coming off the highs, though. I really would like to see it close above this pivot. So 214.31. I really want to see a close above that for a little bit of strength going into next week. A close below that doesn't necessarily negate the move or anything, but it just gives you the, it's a much more softer move, right? You want to see some follow through, you want to see some conviction in this industry group, and they really haven't had that lately. But we'll see what we get here going into the close today. Doing this video a little early. I mean, there's, it's a very light volume day. The trend is kind of set right now. But in any case, that's kind of the level I'm watching for here into the close. IGV here, another solid day. So we've been noting that IGV cloud stocks have been doing well, outperforming a lot of sectors, believe it or not. And we've actually negated this gap down from June 10th. So remember that big gap down we had on the CPI number? That's been negated down. You are into the 50 moving average. You're very close to that gap. So this probably has to do a little backing and filling, but I like this to make a higher low. This is an industry group I might be looking at to buy on a pullback for another leg up. This is, it's showing strength here, and what can you say? It's holding up really well. It's off the lows. It barely took out double bottom. Meanwhile, the Russell, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all made, new lows, decisively new lows. I mean, this pierced the low, but it didn't really close below it. Whereas the rest of the market was basically in flush mode. So cloud software has been showing me a lot. We talked about Zoom yesterday, up another 3.5% today. Look at this, making higher highs. How many stocks right now are making higher highs, let alone tech stocks? And we're looking at Zoom right now, and this thing's performing really well. So I get the sense that some smart money knows something that we don't, that is related to either Zoom or some sort of, I don't want to speculate on this, but like some type of lockdown type of, stay-at-home type fundamentals, because this stock is performing really well. Again, just throwing that out there doesn't mean that necessarily is, but I am noticing that cloud, look at Zoom here and IGV outperforming the semis and pretty much all of tech and really a lot of other sectors. So just making note of that, but nice move there. Dow Transport's finally getting a bid here. This has been really weak. It's been inside bar bear consolidation. We've been talking about that. Finally broke above that. Would like to see it close above this pivot, but if it doesn't, that's okay. This is still a nice power surge here for the Dow, and it looks like it's going to, or the Dow Transports rather, and it looks like it's going to live to fight another day. So again, little breakdown there, attempted breakdown, and now you may get a little bear trap and a short squeeze, and that, that type of action can trap the shorts, and that's how you get those rip your face off rallies. So maybe the transports can get a bid here. Again, 14,000 is going to be pretty good resistance. You could even make a case that maybe you've got trend line right here. Okay, so right in that 14,000 area, maybe just below it. You also got the 50-day moving average right there. That's going to be pretty good resistance here for the transports. But either way, nice little pop there for DJT on the day. Let's look at interest rates here. So rates just getting a technical bounce, not a whole lot going on here. We talked about that green bar yesterday, 20 MA, little bounce there for the TNX, TYX, same thing. filling that gap, hitting the 20 period moving average and getting a little bit of a bounce. HYG here, nice little pop. Still below this green bar pivot, but you know, it's getting a bid. And that little divergence yesterday, you know, the nice little pop yesterday kind of gave us a clue, you know, that the market was going to have a chance to rally here. But again, high yield debt getting a little bit of a bid, so that is a positive for the market. Home builders here also following through to the upside. Again, liking the fact that bonds are rallying a little bit, not so much today, but over the last week they've rallied. So that is a positive for XHB. Same thing with ITB, but these are going to have resistance up in this area. Now, it can get through that if we do have another leg up, like an ABC up in the summer, but I don't see it getting through this 60 handle here on the ITB. Same thing with XHB, where, you know, we're looking at, you know, maybe 62, 63. But this is going to be pretty stiff resistance, I think. So we'll watch these moving forward, but they are liking the action right now. VNQ finally getting above, so negating this red bar. We've been talking about that the last couple of days. We got above that red bar, filled that gap. It should stall out here a little bit, somewhere in this zone here, 20 moving average, and this kind of breakdown area. So it's probably going to stall out here, but nice little surge off the lows, little short squeeze. Maybe you can pull back and have a leg higher, but in any case, nice little move for those real estate ETFs. Financials here, again, just like VNQ here, getting above this red bar on the XLF. Let's look at the XBD as well. Really quick, I want to show you if I can type it in. There we go. So we talked about that red bar there on the XBD. We're like, yeah, we're rallying a little bit. We're having a green day, but we still need to get above this red bar. We've done that. So nice move for XBD, negating that kind of breakdown. So this should have some more upside in the cards. And then as for the XLF, again, same kind of deal. There we go. So getting above this pivot here, and again, maybe have some upside to that gap fill, 20 moving average, and then possibly kind of have a little bit of a pullback here, but a nice surge for XLF getting off the lows. And look at very light volume here. So again, this is what I say, you know, never short a dull market. That's the old saying. And when we get closer to these holidays, you know, a lot of the time, that's when you get those rallies. Remember Memorial Day last month, we look at the spiders, you know, we bottomed out on the 20th, and then we, you know, kind of chopped for a little bit, and then we floated right into that Memorial Day time period. It looks like we're getting the same thing here with the 4th of July. So be aware of that. You know, again, looks like we're going to probably rally next week, just based on everything I'm seeing here. Anyways, energy, let's look at crude. So crude getting, you know, a technical bounce off that 100 period moving average and that trend line. We'll see if it can continue into next week. It's going to have some resistance around 113, 114. So we'll see if it makes a lower high, then it can possibly come down and attack this trend line again. You've hit it a lot of times. So if it comes down with a lower high, I expect it to break. And I think it will go to 85. And I think we're going to have a really good buying opportunity for a lot of these energy names. And that's why I've been saying don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, because you're going to get a chance to buy them. And it's going to be a good chance, I think. Like I've said, higher price floors are in effect long-term for energy. But I just didn't like the euphoric kind of, you know, we look at XLE here, this euphoric kind of just panic buying, you know, all these funds and all the analysts are like, oh, you got to get into energy, you got to get into energy because that's the only safe play right now. But when everybody piles into it, it all of a sudden becomes a risky play because now it becomes a one-sided trade. The boat gets overloaded and you get a massive sell-off. So nice move down here for XLE as well. Breaking both these trend lines. I do expect it to go a little bit lower, but be patient with this. And again, we'll be getting into this in carnivore trades. A lot of these energy plays, we're going to play them, and I think they're going to be really good buying opportunities. So if you want to get in on that, come take advantage of the free trial here. XOP, same thing, getting a technical bounce off that 200 moving average. OIH, again, same thing, did pierce through that 200, so it is a little bit on the weaker side, but getting a technical bounce here. And then nat gas, a little bit of downside. I would really have felt better if this pierced through $6. Maybe it does it next week, but really kind of just a pause candle. Now this is getting oversold here short term, so this is due for a technical bounce here, but I would like it to get below $6 to really kind of, you know, flush out any longs here. But in any case, really just a pause day, nothing too new to report there. Dollar index, again, just sideways here, flattish to sideways. We'll see if this does go into backing and filling mode. It's still inside of this red bar here, so that is noteworthy, but you do have a little micro kind of, here, we'll zoom in. So you have a bigger red bar and then a smaller green bar that kind of reversed a lot of this. And so you're just kind of consolidating, and you could even make a case that you've got kind of a little like flag, like pennant pattern right there. So we'll see which way this breaks. But in any case, really kind of a non-event on the dollar index the last week or so, just been sideways. Gold here, again, kind of a flattish day, but it's holding up well. Again, we talked about it's acting as a safe haven, and you know, we'll leave it at that. I don't really have a bias on it one way or the other right now, other than really, you know, this weekly. I don't like this weekly inside bar, so we'll just be aware that this can break down, but for right now it's holding up, and we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Silver here, little reversal off the low, so just kind of defended double bottom. You do have a potential higher low in place, so we'll see what we get. Really needs to get back above 22 to have a shot to get up to 23, but you know, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It had a nice reversal today. Platinum also green, but came off the highs, and palladium still stuck in this daily inside bar, but you know, a nice little bid here. So if it can get back above that, you know, maybe we can go back to 2050 or so, but nothing too eventful going on palladium. And then copper, really nice reversal candle here. Dipped down pretty sharply, didn't quite get down to my level, but it is very oversold, so no surprise it needed to bounce here, and it is holding up, holding 373 for now. But look at the fall here, you know, from almost $1 fall here, about 90 cents from this pivot here just 3 weeks ago on spot copper. So what a move there. And yeah, the industrial metals really starting to back off as, you know, we get more of that recession kind of talk. All right, anyways, on to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, you know, it's holding up. It's not participating too much in the rally. And again, we've been talking about crypto. It's weak, you know, it's weak. It's not really confirming the move here. Ether is up 6.5% though, so nice pop for Ether. Doge up 4%. So some of the altcoins are getting a little bit of it. Take a look at XRP here, up almost 7% coming off the highs. So Bitcoin under a little bit of pressure. Some of the alts getting a bit here, but overall the sector has been weak. But, you know, again, we talked about this little potential bullish inside bar here. Looks like it's got a good chance to play out. We'll see what we get over the weekend. Again, it seems like every day we get news about some other fund or something that blows up in crypto, and that's just really causing money flow to leave the sector right now, and it's really hard for it to rally. Again, the positive is here is if we do start to squeeze in the markets, that will probably bleed over into crypto, and you can get a pretty good squeeze here on some of these names. So we'll give it the upside bias right now, at least to that 20-period moving average. You know, as long as the market can continue to rally, I think it will hold up as well. But overall, just been a weak sector so far, and we'll see what we get going into the summer. But again, bottom line, looking for a little bit more upside into next week. And market's starting to get a little bit of a bid here, so we are floating up here into the afternoon. They're giving us a little float. Shorts are covering here. Nothing really to, you know, too new to explain here. You guys know the drill here. Nice little trend day for the spiders. We'll see what we get next week. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com, and I will talk to you all later.